Good morning. I hope you're all doing very, very well. There you go. I just wanted a little bit of sun, a little bit of vitamin D. How are you doing? I told myself that this morning I would take a walk through Chapultepec. I've been wanting to come here. I've been wanting to take like a long walk before work, but work has been so busy, which is why I did not post a video last week because I was in LA for VidCon. I thought that I would have time. I thought incorrectly. That's like my fourth time working VidCon, and it gets more intense and more crazy every time. And I was just beat at the end of every day, and I didn't have it in me to pick up the camera and film. The few moments of free time that I had, I used it getting a little workout in the gym because I was determined to keep up some type of a routine and health, but I didn't have it in me to edit. So here we are back in Mexico City. I am so incredibly happy to be back. Every time I leave, I'm like, yep, I know this is home because I don't want to leave. Let's start walking. Also, it's July, or tomorrow is the first day of July, and I'm fully wearing a pea coat my grandma gave me, and I love it, but it's cold. With all of that talk about VidCon though, I do want to share, just look at this beautiful walk before I get into this. I will never, ever get over how much I love this park. I truly will just never get over it. But, okay, as I was saying, so VidCon was very intense, very hectic, but I learned a couple things. It's never too late to start a channel, to do anything. I feel like we oftentimes use the excuse of time when we don't feel like we're ready to do something or confident enough to do something, but VidCon shows me that no matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are, it's never too late to pursue something new. And I've always been a firm believer in this. Like, I don't think, especially this creative space or YouTube or TikTok, where there's so many different desires, there are people looking for so many different types of people, that you will find your audience. You just have to stick to it. The next lesson that I learned is that to make it in this industry, you really do have to embrace that main character energy. I said this on my TikTok, and every time I'm around other creatives in this space, I realize this. And I realize this is actually something that I struggle with. You know, a lot of us say, and I'm putting myself in this category, but a lot of us say that we want to do this, we want to be in entertainment, we want to be in digital, and then when it comes time to be like, this is who I am, this is what I bring to the table, and really like talk yourself up, we don't want to do it. I struggle with this. I don't want to come off narcissistic. I don't want to come off full of myself. I don't want to take up too much space. I think that's where this really stems from for me, is I don't want to take up too much space. And I learned this year that there's nothing wrong with taking up space. There's nothing wrong with taking up space. And if you want to be in a saturated market like digital, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you have to be comfortable with taking up space. So those are the two things I learned. Did any of you happen to go to VidCon this year? What did you think? I'm curious to know your thoughts. But my real question of the day, and this is a bit different because I feel like in the past my questions of the day are a bit like introspective, but this one I really need your help with. My question of the day is, should I start a podcast? Should I start a podcast? This has been on my mind for quite a while. I just started listening to them and more, because I've always listened to them, but I just started listening to them more, and I was realizing that I couldn't really find a podcast that was in alignment with what I'm currently looking for. So I was thinking, well, should I start one? Let me know in the comments below if you would listen to a podcast by me, and also what would you want me to talk about. But yeah, I'm happy to be back in Mexico City. Happy to be back on YouTube. I really am just wanting to, and I said this in my previous video, like, prioritize creative projects. This summer is just about getting creative, getting into it 100%, like going all in. One of my best friends just moved here. She's a fabulous creative, and I think it'll be really nice for us to be in the same city, to push each other, to help each other. So that's really exciting. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I feel like most of this video is just going to be my thoughts in the park. I want to be here for at least an hour, taking the beautiful sights. And yeah. Okay. I'm going to sign off for now. I feel like every time I get onto the path, I'm a little bit in the way. No, I'm not in the way. This park is ginormous. I'm not in the way. I'm allowed to take up space. We're correcting all of this. Speaking of taking up space, during a time where men in power in the US don't want us to take up space, they want to take control of us, of our bodies, I think it's important, more important now than it has ever been, to use our voices, to take up space, to make our presence known, to make our beliefs known, to advocate for what we want. We will not be silenced. We will absolutely not be silenced. I will always advocate for a woman having control over her body. Always. Thank you for taking the time to press play on today's video. Thank you for being patient with me, always being patient with me. And as always, beautiful friends, thank you for being here.
Take me back to Mexico, that Cancun sun will turn the sun. We're high on, want to hike with me.
So many runners. How beautiful.